Hello and good day to Dr. Mai. My partner is Saiful and I am Emmanuel. We will be presenting to you the hazard plan for Roti Jala. Our presentation consists of the trigger, filler table, the hazard plan, and the hazard plan summary. This is the trigger, and based on the news article by the Sun Daily, the unwashed eggs for Roti Jala has caused a food poisoning case at Tapa School, and the news reported that the Roti Jala were contaminated with salmonella. This is the filler table that we have extracted the facts from the trigger, and we came up with the ideas, learning issues, and action plan. The first fact is that the unwashed eggs contaminated with three types of bacteria were used to make roti jala, which tells us that the eggs were not washed before usage. So we learned the importance of washing the eggs. Thus, the action plan is to suggest the preventive measure to reduce or eliminate the hazard. The second fact is that the food handler did not wash her hands after breaking the eggshells, which indicate that she was being irresponsible for not maintaining good personal hygiene. From this, we learned the importance of good personal hygiene by washing our hands before handling the food. And what we need to do is set up a monitoring program to ensure that hygiene practices are being followed by the food handlers. Lastly, the third fact is that the containers used to store the eggs were dirty. So the idea is that the canteen is dirty and the materials and equipment may not be washed properly as well. Based on these items, we need to know the proper way to store the eggs, and the kitchen must be cleaned frequently. So what we need to do is set up a routine to maintain the cleanliness of the preparation area, materials, and equipment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will continue the presentation. My name is Muhammad Saiful Anwar Abhi Humayunus. My metric number is 19952. So I will continue the presentation with the Haccp plan for Roti Jala. Step one, management committee. We have three parts that we will be covered, which is food safety policy, food safety objective, scope of the Haccp system. So firstly, food safety policy. In order to ensure best practice, Sesta Canteen has established its foundation and strict food safety policy, which is Sesta Canteen is committed to consistently produce and serve safe local food and food products with the application of GHP and HACCP principle to support the health and well-being of the student and staff. Okay, then for the food safety objective, the food safety objective is based on SMART criteria where it is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So the objective is include food safety, food testing result, customer complaint, food safety training, and also top 5 supplier performance. For the target of food safety, food testing result, the target is absent from microbe contamination. For the target of customer complaint, the target is not more than 2 cases of major complaint in safety and quality of food. For the third objective, which is food safety training, the target is at least 8 hours per employee. And for the last objective, the target is at least in good rating or at least 71%. Next, this is scope of the HACCP system. The product is Roti Jala, which is applied to this HACCP system. Roti Jala also fall under the category of Malay traditional dish. For the production site, which are covered by the system, is located at Sekolah Menengah Sains Tapah, Jalan Pahang, 35000 Tapah, Perak. Okay, the next step is step 2, which is assemble HACCP team. Under this step, there are two important components, which is organization chart and also HACCP team profile. Okay, so the next thing is HACCP team profile. This is very important in after the organization chart. So this is our HACCP team profile. Our HACCP team being multidisciplinary, comprise individual with expertise from different departments. In our HACCP team profile, we include staff job function, qualification, training, and also role of responsibilities of each members. We can see that the Haccp team consists of the operation manager as our food safety team leader. Also, then we have quality control manager as a administrator, and then we have line QC quality control inspector that have a job function as production expertise. And then we have maintenance and sanitation supervisor, which is a maintenance and sanitation expertise. And then we have engineering manager, which is technology and equipment specialist, laboratory manager that act as food microbiologist. And then we have packaging manager, which is packaging specialist. So why they have been chosen a certain person to build a Haccp team profile? This is because the chosen members acquired necessary training such as GMP and Haccp audit applicable to our facility audit, principal and internal audit. So we can see from the table, most of the member have a good and sufficient training such as a GMP, Haccp. Other than that, they also have sufficient working experience varying from 5 to 20 years, which show that they have a very good understanding of the facility and the product. Okay, the next step is step 3 and step 4, which is product description and intended use. So, the product name is Roti Jala, Roti Kirai, Roti Renjis, Net Pancake, Net Crepes, and also known as lacy pancakes. For the raw material or ingredient, it contains wheat flour, eggs, coconut milk, salt, turmeric powder, water, and vegetable oil. Wheat and egg is an allergen. Okay, for product characteristic, for microbiological, not in list, chemical, not in list, but for physical, it a savory taste, tender and delicate texture, and also yellow in color. Okay, so the process of roti jala. Firstly, prepare the butter by combining all the ingredients except for cooking oil, and then transfer the butter into a roti jala dispenser or squeeze bottle. And then rub a paper towel oil with vegetable oil over the cooking surface, and then drizzle the butter onto the pan in a circular motion to create the net pattern and cook for about 2 minutes over a medium low heat. And then remove the roti jala and transfer onto a plate. Fold and roll the roti jala to form a net package, and then place onto the tray and cover with cling wrap, and lastly serve and distribute to the consumers. For the shelf life of roti jala, it up to 5 days if plastics wrap and store in a refrigerator. For the packaging, it are not applicable. For the storage condition, if not at serving time, maintain at a warm temperature. For the labeling instruction, it not applicable. Food distribution and serving method, place onto a tray and covered with cling wrap. Serve at room temperature or warmer. So for the intended use, it ready to eat product and also snack for tea time or supper. Intended customer is general consumer, but it is not suitable for the people that allergic with wheat and egg.
So next is the step 5 and 6, which is to construct the process flow diagram and plan schematic, and also the on-site verification. This is the process flow diagram that we came up with, starting from reception of the raw materials until the finished product roti jala is sent to the customers. Next is the plan layout of the production site. As you can see in the diagram, are the flow of raw materials, which is indicated by the blue arrow. The packaging material flow is shown by the green arrow, and the orange arrow is the staff entrance flow, and the red arrow is the waste flow. Step 7 is the hazard analysis. This table is the worksheet for the raw materials and packaging material, and based on the decision tree, we have identified that the eggs are the only one qualified as sensitive material. Moving on to the worksheet for the process steps, we identified four process steps that are considered as CCPs based on the decision tree. The first process being the reception of raw materials, where the first CCP is the reception of eggs. The potential biological hazards are Salmonella, E. coli, Bacillus cereus, and the physical hazards are the cracked and broken eggshells. The reception of other raw materials and packaging materials are not the CCPs because most of the ingredients are processed food and are not significant hazards. Next step is the storage of raw materials and packaging material in room temperature, storage of eggs in chill temperature, and then we have washing the eggs, weighing of raw materials, mixing the batter, transferring into the dispenser, and greasing the cooking surface. And the second CCP is the cooking step. The biological hazards are the bacteria which may survive in food even after cooking. Then we have um, folding and rolling the roti jala, placing on the tray and then cover them using cling wrap and then transporting the roti jala to the canteen will be the third CCP. The biological hazards may grow if the temperature abuse happens, and also cross-contamination due to improper handling or practices. And the fourth CCP is displaying the roti jala, as cross-contamination may also occur during this stage, and there is a potential growth of pathogen due to time temperature abuse as well. And the last step is the serving to the customer.
So I will continue the presentation with the step 9, establish critical limit, step 10, establish monitoring procedure, and step 11, establish corrective action. So this is the table that consists of step 9, step 10, and also step 11. So we have list four CCPs, which is receiving eggs, cooking, transporting, and also displaying the food. So for the first CCPs, which is receiving eggs, there are biological hazard, which is Salmonella, E. coli, and also Bacillus cereus that can be detected or visualized by cracked or broken eggshell. For the critical limits, the Salmonella and E. coli should not be detected in 25 gram, and also for the Bacillus cereus, it must be detected lower than 10 to the power of 2 CFU per gram, and the egg must be clean and unbroken. So for the monitoring, line QC inspector must be in charge to check the COA of the supplier, and also to do a visual examination of each egg in every batch. While for the corrective action, the egg that exceeded critical limit should be rejected, and also the damaged egg should be returned and also removed. For the second CCP, which is cooking, the significant hazard is also same like CCP1, which is biological hazard, consists of Salmonella, E. coli, Bacillus cereus, and also Staphylococcus aureus. So the critical limit uh, for the Salmonella and E. coli, it should not be detected in 25 gram. For the Staphylococcus aureus, it should be at 20 to below of 100 CFU per gram. For the Bacillus cereus, it must be in a range of 10 to the power of 3 to the 10 power of 4 CFU per gram. And for the temperature of cooking, it must be at 75 degrees Celsius and 30 seconds of cooking time. So, how to monitor it? The production worker should be in charge to check the cooking time temperature using a timer and also thermometer in every 10 minutes. So, what is the corrective action? First, extend cooking time until desired temperature is achieved, and then reject affected product. For the third CTP, which is transporting to the canteen, the significant hazard is still the same biological hazard, which is consist of Salmonella, E. coli, Bacillus cereus, and Staphylococcus aureus. The critical limit for the temperature is it must be higher than 60 degrees Celsius, and also the time for the transporting should not be exceeded of 2 hours. Maximum is 2 hours. So how to monitor? The production worker will be in charge to do a visual inspection of the cleanliness and hygiene of the vehicle in every batch of product, and also the production workers will be in charge to check the temperature, the storage temperature using a thermometer in a hourly. So the corrective action that must be taken is discard affected product and then recheck product temperature, and lastly sanitize utensil that used to store food. For the fourth CCP, which is displaying the food, the significant hazard is Salmonella, E. coli, Bacillus cereus, and also Staphylococcus aureus. For the critical limit, the temperature of displayed food must be higher than 80 degrees Celsius on whole hot unit, and then it must be kept up to 2 hours in the hot whole unit. And then for the how to monitor, line QC inspector should be in charge to check the temperature regularly using a thermometer in every 10 minutes. So for the corrective action, reheat to 75 degrees Celsius and put back in hot holding, and then discard affected product, and lastly recheck product temperature.
So the next step is the establish verification procedure, which is step 12. And for the CCP1, receiving of eggs, we have to verify the cracked or broken eggshells. And how we do that is by visual inspection upon reception of raw materials. And we'll do that daily. And the one who is responsible for that is the QC officer. And it will be recorded in the daily production record and also the daily line QC record. The second CCP, which is cooking, and what we need to verify is the cooking time and temperature combination. And how we do that is by checking against the calibrated thermometer daily, and this will be done by the maintenance and sanitation supervisor and will be recorded in the daily production record, daily line QC record, and also the maintenance log. And the third CCP, which is the transporting to the canteen, what we need to verify is the time and temperature combination and also the cleanliness and hygiene of the vehicle. And how we do that is by checking again the calibrated thermometer and also the biotrace swabbing. And this will be done monthly. And who is responsible for that is the maintenance and sanitation supervisor. And this will be recorded in the daily production record, daily line QC record, and also the maintenance log. And the last CCP is the displaying the food, which we will need to verify the temperature by checking against calibrated thermometer, and also will be done monthly by the maintenance and sanitation supervisor. And this will be recorded in the daily line QC record and also the maintenance log. Next is the hazard verification plan. For the hazard plan, we have control measures, CCP, and also critical limit, where we will need to review the monitoring system, verification record, corrective actions, and preventive measures to improve the CCP and critical limits. This will be done yearly or depends on the changes or modifications of control measures or critical limits. And the person in charge will be the hazard team leader, QC officer, production officer, processing manager, and also there is monitoring results and also corrective actions and flow diagram and plan layout in the hazard plan that will need to be verified by respective person. Next, we have also the food safety system, which consists of HACCP internal audit, management review meeting, customer complaint, and customer feedback, which will done also by the person in charge here, as you can see in the table that we have come up with. And next is the PRP activities, which consists of calibration, maintenance, water quality of filtered water analysis, cleaning and sanitation, personal hygiene, pest control, product recall, training, supplier, storage stock audit, inspection by regulatory and certification bodies or agencies. And then next we have product or process, where microbiological analysis of raw materials and finished goods and traceability and also product specification will be reviewed and verified as well by the person in charge.
So let's move on to step 13 of 7th Haccp principle, which is establish document control procedure. In this document control, it is also included record keeping in order to maintain written document for each purification procedure. So we have included 5 examples of our document, such as maintenance record, purification schedule, cleaning schedule, cooking time temperature record, and also personal training record. So as a conclusion, this is our hashtag plan summary, which include of CCPs, significant hazards, critical limits, monitoring, corrective action, notification, and also record that we have explained earlier in this presentation. So that's all from us. Thank you.